How's it going? I'm joined by my good friend Edwin, all the way back there in New York, man. How's it going with you?
Good, Richard. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad, man. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Congratulations on securing the offer. How you feeling about everything?
Yeah, good. Happy New Year's. I'm feeling good. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've been with the program before, obviously. I think since the time that you joined. I think you've had how many job hunts have you had with us so far?
I would say three. Yeah, I joined
Three?
in 2020, I would say. Yeah.
I remember the pandemic days, man. That time doesn't seem as like the market at that time, even with like us hoarding toilet paper and hand sanitizer, doesn't seem seems much more civilized than what's been going on in this job market,
I know. Seems like a
right?
lifetime ago.
Oh man, dude. Okay. So you were last coming out from JP Morgan, and then like you just secured this new role. Tell us like what were like some of the overall key differences that you notice in like the past three job hunts, especially coming out of your most recent job hunt with us this time?
Yeah. I would say some of the key differences, and it's been progressive, has been just the competitiveness of the market. I think everyone's feeling it in different ways, whether that be um, lack of responsiveness or the ability to actually get those offers is just much more difficult. But given that, I feel like that just prompts different strategies. So on my end, I feel like differentiation has been my key kind of like competitiveness, or edge. I have gone into a niche. I have gone into the crypto space. So I feel like that's actually helped me get more traction with those kind of companies. But even outside of that, even outside of like that general edge, you still have to practice the fundamentals. So you have to understand how you can best like position yourself when you're interviewing and talking to these companies.
Bro, dude, I mean, obviously keeping up with what's going on in the market as just like, an amateur investor myself. Very low level here, people. Very low level. But crypto has definitely made definitely made somewhat of a comeback, like Pokemon Go
Mhm.
back in 2016. But like, how has that market really changed? I mean, since the declaration of the new administration.
Oh, you mean the crypto market? It's
Yeah.
cyclical. So the last time it was kind of like the bull market was actually around 2021, a little bit after the pandemic. So it's an emerging market similar to the AI space. It's cyclical, but I feel like at some point in the near future, in like 2030, this space and this technology is going to be embedded in a lot of like traditional companies. So it just kind of goes back to the fundamentals of trying to stay ahead in the tech space. In the same way that a lot of people are trying to get their AI credentials, I think they just have to look ahead and see what else is coming. Yeah,
100%, man. 100%. So this like position that you just landed most recently, is it also in the crypto space?
it is. It's in the infrastructure space. They're building infrastructure to enable engineers to build better applications on top of blockchains.
That sounds like it could be very exciting, but that also sounds to be very laborious. Is it also like I mean, are you working remotely? Are you forced to go back into the office? As we're hearing a lot about like the news was just announced, like I think like I saw something like 6 hours ago where companies are thinking about like putting people back in the office 5 days out of the week. This position, man, like is it remote, hybrid? What's the deal with that?
It's remote, thankfully.
Oh man, that is
Yeah.
dude, New York. It's like the coldest. I was there. I was back in New York, like for my friend's son's birthday, but it was like I think it's like one of the coldest like winters like we've had. We've had less snow every year for like the last 8 years, but like it was really cold this time around.
Yeah, it's been cold. We did have a lot of snow actually for like
Uh,
a few days. I actually kind of liked it. We haven't had snow here
yeah,
in forever, but yeah.
gosh, that weather depresses the heck out of me. I'm an LA boy at heart, you know. Gucci, man. So like you landed a remote crypto role. What's that? What I mean, what's it like going to be working in crypto? Because like I think overall, one of the fundamental differences that I've seen with the product gym folks that have landed in crypto. And there's a lot because, like, being based in New York, obviously you have a lot of people that leave traditional finance like a JPM or like a Goldman and they want to venture into crypto. But the way that I see it is like they start working really weird hours because even before the pandemic, like the workforce is like global. Like you'll have people from like Singapore to like Greece, so like what are those hours like managing that?
Yeah, it is global. There's no way around it. Thankfully, in my previous jobs, I worked with global teams, so it didn't phase me at all. And I've been an enthusiast in this space for like a few years, so I feel like I'm familiar with the kind of people that are in the space, whether it's in New York or even outside of the country. And yeah, it's just kind of like the nature of this industry. Working 24 hours. A lot of my colleagues are in Asia, in Europe, elsewhere. So yeah.
Man, I think like when you're negotiating comp, that's why we have to have like really good comp conversations because like the standard 40-hour 9 to 5 work week simply just isn't applicable in this space when you're gonna have people that are just like in these weird hours and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So what do you recommend for people that want to break into crypto product management?
Yeah, it's a good question. I would say the space is it's an emerging space. And there's a
Still?
lot of, I would say it's still to a degree. The UX has gotten better. I would say like policy is definitely catching up to an extent. I feel like we'll see more of that this year, which is good. But still, nonetheless, it's still early technology. It's only been around for like 10 years. And it's only just now starting to get, I mean, it sounds like a long time, but
Does sound like a long time.
it's only just now starting to get traction, to be honest.
Really?
So yeah. I mean, a lot of the users in crypto are like very like early adopters of technology. Like they're willing to go through the hurdles of like 8 steps to like get a crypto wallet, fund it with fiat, swap those tokens. Like it's not a user-friendly like industry, but I feel like it's getting there. So I would say for anyone who's looking to get into space, just like become familiar with the technology. Like it's gonna take a lot of work to get familiar with the technology in the same way that I would say it takes a lot of work to get familiar with like any kind of emerging tech like AI. But I would say it's worth it. There's a lot of potential for this like tech to be used in different ways, a lot of exciting ways. So yeah.
How much is AI used in crypto?
I love that question because it's actually being used a lot in this last year and this coming year too. It's one of the emerging trends that's starting to like pop up in crypto. The utilization of blockchain and crypto to actually enhance a lot of how AI is conducted and operated, whether that be allowing for like the centralized GPU to allow for a more democratized like utilization of like data across like different systems and models etc. Whether it's the ability to actually allow AI agents to conduct transactions using like a uh, native like money, essentially digital money. So the best way to enable them to do those transactions is actually crypto. People are finding. So there's a lot of interesting use cases starting to pop up. But yeah, I feel like it's all going to emerge in the end. Like we're all gonna in like 10 years, we're all going to be interacting with robots. And it's all going to be like a combination of like hardware, blockchain, like AI, whatever, like bioengineering, whatever it may be. It's all going to converge into one. So, yeah.
I think it's crazy because like a lot of, a lot of the really high paying product manager roles, if it's not in AI, it's also in like cybersecurity. And how much is like cybersecurity a factor? Because I just read in this article where, a North Korean hacker group freaking just they just took like about 300 million in crypto from Japan.
Mhm.
And those guys are putting up some like Steph Curry numbers up there. How much is like, I mean, do you deal with any of that? I mean, on the infrastructure side?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, crypto blockchain. Like think about it, like crypto and blockchain, it all stems from cryptography. So the only way that these like systems, these blockchains are going to actually stand the test of time is if they're secure, is if they're prone, or rather if they can handle attacks like that at scale. I would say a lot of the things that you hear about in the news are actually like social engineering attacks. So people who are not responsible or potentially aware of some of the attacks that are coming in. Maybe they get like an email to do like an interview. Actually, this happens a lot. Typically, you'll get like and this is actually relevant for like product and potentially, you'll get an email from an attacker who's posing as a recruiter for another company. They'll like put up like a very enticing number, and then you'll likely click a link to do a video interview or something like that. And then it's through those links that they typically get access to your computer, and they can potentially access your seed phrases and take your crypto like that. But yeah.
I mean, when your crypto gets taken like that, is there, do you ever get it back?
No, you don't. You have to be very. That's the thing.
So that,
Yeah.
so I mean, that 300 million that no the North Koreans took from Japan, um, I think it was called this platform, it was called like Bitcoin DMM or DMM Bitcoin, but like are these people compensated in any way or they just gotta take the L?
Compensated. Or what do you mean? The people who get their money taken?
Yeah.
I think good question. I think it depends on where it depends on where the attack happened, right? Because if the attack happened in a social engineering kind of way where the attacker just got a direct access to your seed phrase, then you're screwed. But if let's say the attack happens like on like a centralized exchange like Coinbase, then to an extent, Coinbase is responsible for the funds of the users. It's not necessarily a binary in the sense of like it's either all centralized or non-centralized. In the case of Coinbase, like there are a little bit more, I would say, rules potentially. So I would say it's probably dependent on the platform itself and the policies that they have in place.
That's freaking insane. Because like Robinhood, I mean, they also transact Bitcoin as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if like a hacker group raided or attacked Robinhood per se, I think Robinhood, they'd probably be in a position where they would have to compensate.
Yeah,
The,
yeah. It's interesting. In the case of Robinhood and the other platforms, they're technically centralized exchanges. So to an extent, when you have your crypto with them, the crypto isn't necessarily crypto that you own. You're kind of trusting it to this third party, which kind of, in my eyes, kind of defeats the point of crypto and blockchain. But people like people like the usability in that sense, right? So that's why you have other solutions that are completely decentralized, like your like wallets, your crypto wallets, like your Phantom wallets and etc. Those are completely decentralized. You can actually be there's 100% like security that the money belongs to you essentially, but you're completely responsible for maintaining and managing those seed phrases that essentially grant access to those wallets. So I feel like a lot of these attackers typically are able to get the funds because they do some kind of social engineering hack, send you an email or something. Somehow they are able to infiltrate your like device, find your seed phrases, and essentially take your money like that. That or a lot of these platforms that are running smart contracts actually need to do proper audits to ensure that the code itself is secure. Sometimes there's loopholes, and like these hackers are able to find those loopholes because some people didn't do proper audits on the software that they're building, and that potentially opens up the leeway for a lot of these hackers to go in and like take advantage of that. So yeah,
bro, man, this is such a, I'm so fascinated by this space, especially um, I feel like under the new administration, the golden age is almost going to be ushered in. Uh,
yeah. I'll say this: people people when people think of blockchain, they only think of like crypto and like it being a casino, which to an extent is kind of like the main use case of crypto right now. But when you look at some of the other applications that are being explored right now, like say let's say the biggest one, like let's look at AI, right? Like AI to an extent or a large extent is already validated as a technology, and people are pretty much have reassurance that it's just going to continue to get better over time, right? To the point that AI is going to take over the world. I feel like that kind of like methodology has already kind of been accepted. But when you think about that, there's actually a lot of problems to that vision because there's problems in regards to like identification. You have to understand like who you're going to be interacting with in the future online, whether it's an actual real person or like an AI agent. You have to actually be able to allow these AI agents that are going to be potentially conducting like 80% of the interactions online at some point because they're going to be operating 24 hours a day, like nonstop, like doing parallel interactions, whereas we humans can only like do like consecutive interactions like in a very like slow pace. So when you think about that, you need proper ways to actually be able to audit and track and make sure that these AI agents are actually responsible with their transactions. So that's actually where blockchain comes into play, and that's why a lot of people are actually exploring the intersection of blockchain and AI right now, to actually be able to provide governance for how these AI agents interact, be able to put guardrails in place to ensure that these AI agents don't go rogue, for instance. Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
I don't see how that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Dude, this is about to be a Terminator movie for
Actually,
real.
though, yeah, I know in 10 years it's gonna be pretty crazy. Yeah.
Nah, man, I'm thinking like five, dude. You're gonna have like those AI agents are gonna be like they're gonna be like Jason Bourne's out there just going one time.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty crazy. Like, and these AI agents, they're gonna be online agents, software agents, but potentially, I mean, not potentially, like eventually they're also gonna be like real life. These agents are the software that's going to be powering these like physical robots, like the ones that you see like Elon Musk like displaying in his presentations. So AI agents are essentially robots. They're either software robots or hardware robots. So you need to ensure that these robots in the future are actually going to be secure and that they're not going to be able to go rogue. You also need to provide the infrastructure to allow them to do the things that they want to do, like transact. How can they transact? They can use cryptocurrency for that, etc. It's gonna be pretty crazy. Yeah.
Think we'll be watching this video somewhere in the bunker when you and I are exchanging assault rifle magazines and like fighting each other. Shit is about to get so wild.
Yeah.
People have
Honestly, though.
no idea.
No, people have no idea. It's gonna be pretty crazy. Like, not just even looking at hardware, like looking at software. Like, AI is gonna take over the world. Like, AI is gonna take over a lot of. It's gonna automate a lot of these jobs out, right? So it's going to raise a lot of questions, not just in the tech space, but also in like government. Like, what happens when there's no more jobs for people to fill? I mean, this is starting to get like a little bit more like futuristic, but like, there's gonna be like talks about like how do we support that, like UBI, like what's going to happen in the future, right? So, yeah. Or maybe it's going to open up new jobs. I don't know. But yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But like, I think like overall for the people that actually made it to this part of the video, like if you take a look at December, it's probably one of the lowest is always like traditionally one of the lowest productivity months out there. I don't really think I think like December 2025, where is it like we're not gonna see that. We're the like those AI robots, I mean AI agents are getting deployed at a level of efficiency and at such a high quantity that like because like if you're a business owner, you don't want things to stop. You want things to be like 24/7. But human beings need oxygen and they need times to like rest and like AI agents are not. Uh man, I don't want to be grim, but I'm very, very happy you landed, start the new year. Like, I think you're absolutely going to go out there and crush it. You've got a background in this space. And on top of that, like, I think this is the most pro business, pro tech, pro AI, pro crypto administration we've ever seen. I mean, the AI and they have a position called the AI and crypto czar that's actually being run by David Sachs. So like, yeah, dude, I think like I like having travel, like I travel a lot around Asia too, and a lot of my friends from like New York and California, they'll come out here for like conferences. Like I saw a lot of them during like Korea Bitcoin Week.
Oh, in
Um,
September?
yeah, 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 yeah.
I
Where
was
were you?
there.
Oh,
Yeah.
no
It was
way!
Korea Blockchain Week. I was there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Korea Blockchain Week, which it's hilarious because it's always coincided with like Seoul Fashion Week. That was one I was thinking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because after you talk about blockchain, you head to the after party for Fashion Week, right?
That explains a lot. I saw a lot of fashion people. I was like, what are they doing
Yeah,
here?
that was not a coincidence. They timed that shit. Like, yeah, but like I think like people have this like very glamorized view of it. And it's just like I think people in the crypto space they work extremely, extremely, extremely long hours. It's for like a very long-term vision. Like one of my best friends in California has a dispensary that he was like, that thing was not profitable for a very long time. Yeah, it was like a long, I mean, it is now, but he had to
Mhm.
like, he's like, you really have to like figure it out. So, congrats on the new job, but I can feel like there's going to be a heck of a like a lot of just like, gosh, man, sweat equity that's just coming down your way. So
Yeah,
congrats.
yeah, yeah. I would say like potentially the last thing, yeah, for anyone who's still watching this video, the last thing is like recommendations, like just look at try to what's coming, like try to anticipate what's coming next, like whether it's crypto, AI, like anything else, try to stay ahead of the curve. And that'll keep you competitive, I would say. And I guess looking specifically in the crypto space, um, it's an emerging space. So it's actually still quite small. For anyone looking to get into space, networking is actually like very helpful. The space is small, so like once you start getting to meet people, like you start getting easily connected to others, like whether it's attending conferences, events here in the city, or at least I'm in New York. But for anyone else, this industry is global, so there's different ways to get involved. Yeah,
All right, man. Thank you so much for your time. I'm gonna go ahead and chat with you real soon. See you next time that I'm in New York. Uh, Ping me the next time you're in Asia.
yeah, we'll
I had
do.
no idea. I had no idea you were in town, but there's so many other people I had no idea they were in town too. But
Yeah, I went to 5 different countries.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I think like this year too. There was like no last year there was like a huge one. Did you go to the one in Belgium?
Oh no, I didn't go. Yeah, there was a big event
You know
there.
which one
Yeah,
you know which one I'm talking about, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There was a big event there. Yeah,
Yeah. All right, man. Well, you stay safe. Happy New Year again. We'll talk to you very soon.
yeah. You too. All right. Talk later.